According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly 46,000 people in the United States committed suicide in 2020. That's a rate of 14 people per 100,000. Among children and young adults ages 10 to 24, the suicide rate is 10.7 per 100,000 and is the second leading cause of death. It's no surprise that teenage years are stressful. Regular developmental changes combined with other life events already can put boys and girls at risk for depression and suicide. In fact, the rate of teen suicide has risen dramatically over the past decade. At the same time, social media use has also risen among teens. Several studies have found a correlation between social media and suicide, and researchers have linked aspects of social media use to depression and higher suicide risk. Overuse of social media poses a significant risk, especially among girls. A 10-year study at BYU discovered that teenage girls at age 13 who spent 2 to 3 hours daily on social media were at a higher risk for suicide as young adults. Researchers concluded that girls and women are more sensitive to their post not being well received, comparisons to others, and lack of online connections, while boys tend more often to post and read funny content. A second factor is the type of content teens consume. They sometimes fall victim to posts encouraging unhealthy challenges such as those on Snapchat and TikTok, which can lead to suicide. Following other people who offer a negative influence also tends to negatively affect health more than actively engaging and posting. Social media use and overuse can also make young people more vulnerable to cyberbullying. A systematic review has shown a link between suicidal behavior and being a victim of cyberbullying. This link was most significant among kids who had mental health issues or who were also victims of traditional bullying. Other studies have tied social media use to an increased risk of anxiety disorders, depression, and suicidal ideas. Pre-existing mental health disorders tend to make teens more prone to influence from social media. An article published in BJ Psych Bulletin notes that some teens with pre-existing mental health disorders are drawn to an immersive atmosphere of depressive messages and images that act as an enticement to self-harm and suicide. The article suggests that careful public debate is needed to answer the question of how to minimize risk without, at the same time, suppressing useful content. A United Kingdom study of 14-year-olds found that online harassment and poor sleep habits caused by sustained media use made young people, especially girls, more susceptible to depression and poor self-esteem. The data also suggested a cyclical use between social media and depression. Specifically, depressed teens use social media to lift their spirits only to have harmful content or comparisons lead to further depression. While it's true that social media can have positive health benefits for most teens if used appropriately, parents play a crucial role in promoting a healthy social media use. An outright ban on social media is unlikely to work in the short term and doesn't encourage positive social media habits. Parents can instead work with their teens to limit social media use and establish tech-free zones or times such as dinner time or bedtime. A Northwestern article suggests that teens spend much of their time on social media at night, which affects their sleep. One limitation might be to keep the phone outside the bedroom at night during sleep hours. When adults create a tech-free zone, they should be role models and abide by the same rules they implement for their children. Also, adults should pay attention to their teens' behavior and quickly note any changes that might signal depression or suicidal thoughts. It's important to teach your teens how to monitor their own emotions and help them find safe places to go if they need help. Lastly, you should take every type of cyberbullying seriously. Educating your teens about the effects of cyberbullying and ensuring your teens are aware of online portals or hotlines where they can report it when it happens. If you notice signs of suicidal thoughts or plans, be sure to keep the lines of communication open and ask your teen directly if they are thinking of killing themselves. You should make sure to listen to your child. Encourage your teen to remain involved in their favorite activities. Remove any potential suicide weapons. Find a therapist in your area or use and encourage your teen to use crisis text online to text or chat with someone. And of course, in the event of an emergency, call 911. Social media platforms can endanger the public and especially impressionable teens with their pro-violence, discriminatory algorithms, which prioritize profits over public safety. The Social Media Victims Law Center works to hold social media companies legally accountable for the harm they inflict on vulnerable users. If you believe your teen's depression or suicidal thoughts or attempts are related to social media use or cyberbullying, contact the Social Media Victims Law Center today for a free consultation. Learn more about how we can help you during this challenging time.